First thing, shadow swings are the most beneficial thing I found very late uh, that one can do to practice their throw without actually throwing, but feeling everything happening right or wrong way. So in your case where you can't actually throw is very good because even if you have neighbors, you can still pretty much learn how to throw in this off season. So I thought I'd tell you earlier than later. So for shadow swings, what we're going to do is take any disc, doesn't matter because again, you won't be throwing it. 4 fingers at the bottom, thumb on the top. And just like this, nothing else. The only other thing I want you to do is hold the disc in the shadow swing position in front of you and rotate the shoulder inwards so that the elbow starts pointing up. This is what you need to maintain throughout your walk up. So now like this, rotating the shoulder inwards, shadow swing. So just maintain that elbow position and don't think about anything else. Just hold on to the disc. So next step, walk up, consists of 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll explain the top part later, but 1 to 45 degrees away. Then the 2 goes 90 degrees to the target if I'm throwing there. 3 goes behind it. And 4th one is where we coil and then throw. So again, I'm deliberately not doing the thing I need to be doing in terms of how to do those steps, but just 1, 45 degrees, 2 in front of it, so you have space behind you and you don't stumble on your own leg. 3, and coil and throw. So there are 4 rules that it appears one must follow to have a good walk up. And I thought I'd rearrange the rules given that based on individual capabilities. And I think for you, now that you mentioned you're on the spectrum, the primary rule that you must follow every single time before you take care of everything else is rule number 1, always look down the line of the throw. And down the line of the throw doesn't mean the line to the basket, is the line where you want your disc to travel. So essentially when you're doing the walk up, your feet in step 1, 2, and 3 would be perpendicular to that line. And this is where your gaze should go. So I'm here, I'm looking down this line up until I start step 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So mistakes here would be being too in your head, and when we're in your head, we tend to look downwards into the ground anywhere but externally what we need to focus on. Or so it's going to look like this. For example, you're paying attention to your disc or something else. So what it does, it forces you to over rotate back, which will then have you need to compensate by traveling all this distance. So if you're fixated on your target, you can't rotate that far as opposed to if you're looking back. And the other thing not to do here is to get too fixated on looking straight. So the head needs to be just neutral and eyes glued to the target for as long as possible before your coil. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's rule number 1 to follow. Eyes always glued to the line. Everything else can be disregarded, but learn that first if everything is too hard to pay attention to. Rule number 2, that would be your right hand, the hand with the disc, always travels with the left foot. So why? Because we want to simulate walking when we throw, because that means that we won't need to learn something new. We just need to adapt what we know. So let's have a look what happens with the legs so that we can follow that rule. Looking down the line, eyes on the line. Already kind of put your hand next to the foot and try to keep it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you note that if you follow this rule correctly, your reach back extension is not something that you do. It's something that you keep. I keep the disc glued to the left foot rather than doing an extension. So here, again, glue the disc, eyes on the line. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Rule number 3, backloading. We always need to be having our weight on the back foot, whichever back foot it is. 1 back foot, 2 back foot, 3 back foot, woo, and 4. And rule number 4, together with this one, except for step number 1, all your steps 2, 3, and 4 land on the toes religiously. So backloading and landing on the toes looks like this. Eyes down the line. Left hand glued to the right hand glued to the left foot. So backload, land on toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Eyes down the line. Right hand on the left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, how to check whether you're backloading correctly or not? At any point, you should be able to stop and reach. If you feel like you're going here, and I'm like, I want to stop, but I feel I'm already falling. You're not backloading really. You're just carrying the momentum. So again, eyes down the line, right hand, left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I deliberately won't be explaining the brace and throw because this is what I'm learning too. But if I was to do a decent speed walk up, again, don't pay attention to what I'm doing in the throw. Rather pay attention to my eyes, my hand and foot connection, backloading and stepping on the toes. It's going to look like this. So rotating the elbow upwards as well, shoulder inwards so that we have the good. And no, stop myself, try again. And again, still kind of constrained. And again. And one more time. Eyes on, eyes down the line, right hand, left foot, back loaded, and toes. I think that's that. Give it a go, send me videos. Thank you.